Welcome everybody. So today it's been 2 days since my last session. It was on Sunday, and then the Wednesday, I don't know why, but there was an impulse and an opportunity to go again. I must say, in my body I felt like I was so worn out. I ran a marathon on Sunday, and I felt like I depleted all my energies inside. Felt like, whoa, there's nothing here. And also feelings that were on the core, on the ground, you know, like deep-rooted feelings of unhappiness or it was like a depressed feeling. It came up and it stayed with me for a couple of days, and it was really painful. It was really hard to bear, and I realized I had to face it. So I investigated it. I saw it for what it was, and I could then let it go. Well, the energy let it go, and I felt like whatever's happening, it's okay. It's like it's so great to have these opportunities after your session to be presented to deconstruct a layer, or to live through a layer, to grasp its truth, its meaning, and then to let it go, because it's always a story. You know, all our happiness, all our problems, they all come from a context that we give to some event or some circumstance. And because of that context, we feel a certain way, like this is going for me or this is not going for me. And it's very limiting, because it doesn't allow you to see clearly, and it doesn't allow you to experience life clearly, because life has no, let's say, preference, or I'm for this or I'm not for that. I want this or I don't want that. So yeah, I'm working through my deep-rooted patterns of resistance. So I went to a session again. It was my 34th session. The facilitator said that the 33rd session, last session, was a master number. It was like an important session, and I did realize it was like a monumental session. So this time there were a couple of people from Sunday, so it was funny to see them again. And I was also in a different state, but I felt so depleted. I was a bit timid, afraid to go into the session. I thought, whoa, am I gonna handle this? I don't want to scream all that time again. I was so tired. So the session started, and it was very sweet, and I was so happy, because I was just lying on the ground, humming. Like immediately my body started to hum, like oh, and I was just lying, and then I saw like this angel come to me, and he was just caressing me, like rest, heal. And I knew then, okay, I'm not gonna get what I'm not ready for. I'm not gonna get what I cannot handle now. So I relaxed, and I thought like, okay, just stay present. Like a lot of times my mind wanted to wander off and make something happen, or have some experience happen. And I realized the best thing to do is just bring your attention to your breath, and focus on the in-breath and out-breath. Focus and have no involvement with the processes, and allow the processes to take care of themselves. And when I was doing that, things started moving, things started to change. And I got this feeling like I was being unearthed, like I was leaving my body. And then there was a sense of infinite expansion. I had no idea where the beginning of my body was, where the end of my body was. I had no sense of limitation. It was such an extraordinary feeling, and such a boundlessness. Yeah, it was very nice. And then all of a sudden I felt this healing power from the earth. I saw from my body roots were growing into the earth, and like deeply settled into the core of the earth. And then the energy started to flow up, and I could feel the energy filling up my body, healing my body. And a voice said, let the energy of earth heal you. So I was just like that for a very long time, like 10-20 minutes. And I was just, yeah, I felt more and more grounded. After that, very often, like whenever the session is going on, I sometimes, you close your eyes and you have like black inside in front of you. Well, I had like, my attention went to this point where my third eye is, and like a lot of energy, white energy, is like coming together and then exploding. And then I felt like a rewiring in my brain. Like I saw images of levels of consciousness. I saw at a certain point images of my home. I saw that in my home I needed to buy certain things, to change certain things. And I was like, huh, look at that. Kundalini is giving me remodeling advice, how to how to decorate, my personal decorator. So at a certain point, I saw myself being in this river and just flowing with the flow of life. And I realized there's a flow of life, and a voice said, surrender and let everything happen. And then I saw a person from my last session, which was my twin flame, and the words came, true love. This is true love. And I kept seeing her, and there's so much resistance to just allow these feelings to be there, because I guess I don't want to go through that process again of falling in love, living it all out. Like, it's so destructive. It's beautiful, and in a certain way it would be different this time, because the level of consciousness of mine and the other person is different than it was before. But I don't know, I want a period where I can focus on myself, love myself, heal myself. I don't want to go through relationships again. I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to be caught in a triangle, or all the complications of a relationship. What I want to focus on is on relationship with myself. Take care of myself, what I need, what I've been ignoring about myself for so long, which is to give myself the basic needs which I need, and to act out of love for myself. I do not think that love is the only thing, and that I need a partner, or I need that love with a partner, that it's the most important thing. Because I realized it's not. Because I'm not here to just be in a relationship. I'm here to develop myself, to develop my own consciousness, to evolve. And that is only one means. Like, I know what I'm saying now can be wrong, and it can shift when I'm at a different level, but this is where I am at now. So I asked the energy to let go of the resistance, and I felt in my heart that there was a block, that I couldn't let go of the resistance, because I was afraid. I was afraid to be hurt, to be heartbroken. I was afraid to not love. Again, I saw things at my home, and at a certain point I saw like ways to raise my consciousness, and I've been putting it off for a while now, but I really need to go through the course of miracles. It was so clearly shown to me. Also, the voice showed me that after you do a KAP session, it's like, when I talk about a voice, I don't mean like a voice. It's like this clear knowing, this omnipresence. And sometimes it's a voice, sometimes it's a knowing, sometimes it's words, sometimes it's images. But there's like, it's very authentic and real, and not authoritative, but it is, right? So it showed me the importance of grounding, that I shouldn't be doing too many sessions after each other, that the process of integration is very important. As for me, it showed me that one session should have about 7 to 14 days in between. That would be ideal for me. Then at a certain point, like I felt like energy was flowing into me, and expanding all my boundaries, all my blocks. And at a certain point, I felt this free flow of dance, like doing Tai Chi movements, going with the flow, and the music was so beautiful. And at a certain point, I went beyond my sense of self, and I was just observing how the body was purely being moved by spirit. Dancing was happening, ecstatic dancing, exuberant. It was so grand, so free, so flowing, so beautiful, and there was no I-ness to it. It was just so pure. I cannot describe the pureness of being aware of the spirit. It was indescribable, like that pure feeling of yeah, there's nothing I can describe it to. It's like even purer than love. It's not full, it's not conditional, it's not towards something or someone. It's just this pure light, pure completeness, which is not owned. And I was just witnessing that, and my voice started to go like in these high pitches and low pitches, and it was like a roller coaster. And I was like really moving through the room, like dancing through the room, like a madman. And the facilitator, she came to me and she's starting to calm my energies down, and immediately my body went like to hibernation mode, and it was still. What was happening is there was a lot of resistance that came up in this session, and it's mainly now about love, about the flow of my life. At a certain point, when I was lying in the end, I asked, can you show me my gifts and talents? And then the energy started to show me that I could do light language. And like I started to do some light language. It was happening. I didn't do it, it was just happening. But there was like a mental block to it. It was resisting. It was like, this is weird. What will people think of it? It's so weird. So it was not allowed to be fully expressed. Also, at a certain point, like that I have a gifted voice or something, that I can do something with my voice, that I could read the chakras, that I could communicate with my guardian angels. And at a certain point, I saw that I could like do some transmission work with energy, but that was like unclear how I could do that. But apparently, that was one of the gifts as well. And near the end, I kept seeing the twin flame. I saw the twin flames coming together, like the masculine and the feminine, serving like a soul mission, doing something on this earth that they both needed to do. It was quite, honestly, I don't believe it. Like, I'm seeing these and I'm having these experiences, and I'm very hesitant about it and very doubtful about it, because, you know, it's just images, it's just a story. Like all the other stuff that came to me through KAP, like I can I can go with it, but with this thing, it's like, honestly, I suspect that there's just this fascination in my subconscious, and that it's just coming out through the amplitude of the energy. It's coming out to the foreground, and yeah, it's like, it's showing me how that pattern is trapping me or limiting me. Like, I don't know, I guess I don't want to believe it, because that would require a lot from me. And that's not what I want to focus on right now. Like, I want to focus on my life, on, yeah, not on love. After the session, the facilitator, when we did a sharing, she also said, you know, Phanat Wong, he talks about, having these visions of the future, these great experiences, this and that in the session. And he says, leave it all behind. It's great that you had them, be grateful for it, but leave it all behind and be here now, live here, and live about your life. Don't obsess about those stories or things that you've seen. Like, trust that whatever the energy had to do in you, it's done it, and you can go on your way. You can just live your life, and things will organically fall into place. Things will be dictated by whatever alignment energetically you are attracting. So it will be that. It will not be, otherwise you will be making up stories and tactics to get certain things or to try to do certain things. And that's not like the ideal way. Certainly not when you're working energetically. Because that would mean that you are forcing your own will on events. But with KAP, you surrender. And by surrender, you are actually dropping the resistances and the egoic structures and the egoic desires, and the desires of the higher self become apparent. So yeah, it was also my friend's second session, and this time it was different for him. It was less intense, but I must say the energy of the whole group was less intense than Sunday. So some sessions are like really, I compare it to like making a soup. Sometimes you have like this it's like you put in all these ingredients in the soup, and you have like, and it's stirring, and you have like this very, very, very smooth soup, very rich with texture. Sometimes it's spicy, or it's like almost electric. It's full of flavors. It's always very different. Like the facilitator says, you've chose to have a certain experience in this place, in this time, with this group. So it's very unique and particular to this time and place with this specific group. So yeah, there are certain things that I want to accept, and there are certain things that I don't want to accept, because in my past, oftentimes when I was focusing on my growth, when I was trying to, let's say, develop myself, develop certain qualities in myself, or abilities or skills, I was always on a roll, and there was a certain momentum, and things are going better and better and better. And then, you know what happens? You meet a person, you fall in love. And you know what happens with me specifically? I become so obsessed about this love or this person that I drop everything that I'm working with and my own thing, and I give all importance to this one, to this new thing. And I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I don't, because I've done it so many times, and I know what the outcome is. I know that nobody will make you happy. I mean, you can be all loving, you can be all giving, but if you neglect your own path, and you choose another person's path, and you choose to walk with them for the sake of being in love, not wanting to be alone, wanting to be together, like by that pull, eventually, when the two separate, or when you've gone far enough and the love or the honeymoon phase is over, there will be a certain point where you realize where you left off here by yourself, it's still there. It's like it's not gone. You still have to live your life. Like, I've had that experience when I did what I just said. Completely neglected my own life and went through it all like for 2-3 years, almost 4 years. And it was wonderful, it was great, it was amazing. It was the love of my life. I always wanted an epic love story, like in Titanic. When I was small, when I saw that, I thought, this is amazing, I want to experience this. But now I realize once is enough. If you lived once through it, you've seen it all. Like, I'm not gonna fall for that trap again. Like, I don't have any desire for that, because I see its true worth. And what I want is to not depend on anybody emotionally, physically, mentally, psychologically. I just want to enjoy my life for myself. And if I'm helping others on that path, wonderful. If I'm not, wonderful. I mean, I will be interacting with people either way. It's all about what's possible for me, right? There are phases. Sometimes you go through a phase of learning, only practicing, only discovering, and then there are certain parts where you serve, you help, you give. I guess at a certain point it all becomes interwoven, and it's a lifestyle. So it all depends where you are. I also want to make a video about the top benefits that I've gained or seen from doing KAP, since doing KAP. Yeah. These sessions now, they've become so surprising to me. And I realize at one point I do want to take something away from it and incorporate it into my life, but I also realize I have to let it go and just go on living and let the energy move, flow, decide, adapt, change. Yeah. Thank you, guys.